Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. And in this video, we are going to check out Algorand's chart. And if you remember, in the previous update, we were right around this area. And the idea was there's a good chance this is a correction for 4. And soon we can expect yet another move on the upside into wave 5 in order to take the highest high in here for the first target about, let's say, 25.5 cents, and we absolutely did it. And also in the short term, let's just unhide everything and so much more. Okay, I think we can kind of safely say this is 1, this is 2, good move up into wave 3, correction for 4, probably a triangle, and yet another move up into wave 5, which on a higher degree might be into this wave 5. Now, if this scenario is happening, well, okay, we just completed a 5 wave up, and what are we going to have next? You know the story, a decent move on the downside. And let's go on 15-minute time frame. Maybe it's best to go on crypto.com chart, because I think in this, yes, we are having better looking candlesticks. So I believe we can all kind of agree on the fact that this is a great looking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down, followed by that this move up might be in form of an A, B, C zigzag. And you can say in algo, this is 1, this is 2, and maybe like 1, 2, big move down into wave 3, 4, 5, into wave 3, correction for 4, and we are going to see maybe yet another move down into wave 5 in order to hopefully on a higher degree complete the sub waves for an A, B, C zigzag, meaning overall we are having impulse up in this phase followed by a correction down. Well, this is a bit of a bullish setup, indicating after our correction is over, we are going to have another massive move up. Why is our move up going to be absolutely huge in this possibility? Because you can say this is 1, this is 2, and the next move specifically is going to be into a big wave 3 and 4 and 5. And since in terms of Elliott waves, wave 3 is usually, and again, this is the key, usually quite a strong move, we can expect this move up to get quite extended. So in Algorand, I would like to argue right now we are absolutely on the bullish track, and if we get in the short term a move on the downside, we shouldn't really get mad at all. Okay, sure, if we get like strong 5 wave down followed by a correction up and yet another move down, okay, at that point, we should probably consider some other possibilities, indicating maybe we're not really as bullish as we all think. But for now, it's really too soon to jump into that kind of bearish conclusions. Now, in the interest of being objective, I am going to talk about another scenario that suggests our move down in algo is just over already, and from here we're not really going to get that much of a move down, and maybe starting from the current point we are going to have a massive move up. And here is how I can argue that. I can say maybe this is wave 1 instead, correction for 2, another move into wave 3, ABC probably a flat for 4, and then like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up into wave 1. And let's change the color of this one to yellow. There we go. Also in here, I'm not sure how, but somehow you might be able to consider the possibility of having an A, B, and then yes, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up into our C leg, and this might be yet another A, B, C structure down, and well, on a higher degree, maybe in algo we are having just a simple A, B, C in form of an expanded flat, and this whole move is going to be into that wave 4 that we talked about at the beginning of the video. And right now we may have, starting from here, 5 wave up into a wave 1, correction for wave 2, and then we're going to have a good move up into wave 3, 4, 5. And if we are going to have something like this, okay, I'm really hoping that in Algorand we manage to get a break of that important area of supply above us, somewhere around, let's say, 2.4 to about 2.5 cents. If we do that, fair enough, that could be a fantastic sign suggesting our move up is going to get extended, and also downsides in Algorand are going to be very limited. But the question is, how can we say whether this or the previous scenario is happening? Well, couple of points. I think your ultimate sign suggesting we're gonna have in here an ABC in form of a zigzag, something like this, is gonna be taking this slope down here about 22.6 cents. So if you see a move down and that move we take this slope, okay, that's your confirmation indicating we are having an ABC, and this is indeed a complete impulse on the upside. Also, a very kind of short-term bearish sign for you can be taking this specific low about 23.3 cents. Why? Because you see, in this move up, when you go, for example, on crypto.com's chart, you realize that we didn't actually take this high. So you can consider having a truncated wave into your wave 5, but truncated waves are quite rare. So if we do get a deep move down and we take this low, at that point, I think you need to consider the possibility of this is being a wave 1, 2, and then big move down into wave 3 and 4 and 5. One way or the other. I want to be very clear. In algo, we are looking bullish and optimistic, and our ultimate invalidation point for any kind of bullish scenario is going to be taking this important low about 19 cents. Why is that? Because if we do take this low, and for example, from the current point, we get a very strong move down. Okay, at that point, finding a 5/8 from here about 14.5 cents to all the way up here about 26 cents is going to be pretty much impossible. And again, I'm not going to say it's absolutely not possible. No, maybe it is possible, but the shape of it is just going to look so weird and odd that is going to make me say, you know what, that's probably not going to be anybody's primary scenario. And no, since in here we are having overlapping of the waves between this move and this pullback, this is not an expanding leading diagonal. Okay, if you think that, please check out the previous video. We talked about this move in extreme details, and we said this is not an expanding leading diag. So once more, the conclusion is the same. Taking this low is going to invalidate a lot of bullish scenarios, and it's going to break a lot of hearts. But as long as we're not doing that, I think we are allowed to be optimistic. Now, what is going on in terms of indicators? Let's zoom in more and start from weekly time frame. Okay, so in RSI, at the moment, we are basically in no man's land, so not a whole lot is happening. But in MACD, sure, in the short term, we are having a sell signal. However, it seems like if this move is going to continue for another week or two, we're going to get a buy signal here. So what's the conclusion? I would like to suggest, if you do not care about what is going to happen for the next couple of weeks, just wait a little bit more and see a buy signal in MACD and also potentially a stock RSI at the same time. And you want to see at that point Algorand being above this important area of supply. And well, if we do that, at that point you can be bullish with a hell of a lot of more confidence. And in daily time frame, okay, so we are having a buy signal in MACD, and in RSI we were actually back in here somewhere around the overbought area, which suggests maybe soon, in like very short term, we are going to get a move down. But that doesn't mean that generally we should be bearish. No, our move down, as long as we're not taking this low, is going to be generally some sort of a pullback. And pay attention to what is happening in specifically H1 time frame. So on the live chart, starting from this point, we are having a high. The other one is a higher high. This is yet another higher high. But in RSI, we are having in here a high. The other one is a lower high, and this is also a lower high. And it means, well, this is a bit of a beautiful bearish divergence, and here is the line for it. Now, a bearish divergence by itself is a negative sign, indicating we are going to have a move down just for like very short term, since this is happening on H1 time frame. However, if you do not want to say we're going to get something like this, maybe like an ABC zigzag, and you want to say from here we're going to get a massive move up, okay, may I suggest just wait a little bit more and see in the next phase up, are we going to break this divergence or not? If we do break it, okay, most likely at that point you are going to see a rapid rise in algo, and then fair enough, you can consider the possibility of having like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But as long as we are not breaking the divergence line, I think we need to count on a short-term move down. I would say potentially in order to get to about the higher band of this region around like the 21.5 cents area, meaning from the current point, we can expect like a 10% move on the downside. That is not going to be a bad sign at all. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Algorand's chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time with your family and loved ones. Goodbye.